Hey guys, welcome to Loading Screen on UC 98.3 FM. That was Pearl Jam with Alive. You're listening to the Loading Screen, the place to get all your gaming news, reviews and more. We're having some slight technical difficulties. We only have two mics working at the moment.
Mine's working. Good.
What about mine?
Okay.
Is that mic working?
Yeah, David's mic is working as well.
Is it?
Yeah.
Yeah, can you not hear this?
Oh wow, I can hear that.
Okay.
Well, that's surprising. I thought they weren't working. Well,
so are all our mics working?
I assume so.
Ian, try to say something.
Yeah, I think so.
No. His one isn't working.
His one isn't working.
Well done, Amar. Well done.
When he needs to do his review, I'll just
scooch
tilt
over.
my mic over here.
Scooch over. Yeah, guys. I'm Amar Sohail. I'll be your co-host for the evening, and joining me are Jonathan Sultan, who hates every song ever.
I like that song. I picked that
Because
song.
you picked it.
Yeah, exactly. So I obviously don't hate every song ever. I picked it because I like it.
And also you heard David Kiley.
Yep, that's me.
The guy who bought Duke Nukem Forever.
You're never going to let that go, are you?
I'm going to say it every show.
And with us is a special guest, Ishmael. How you doing?
Ian Walsh.
Thank you very much. I'm doing good, thanks.
Ian Walsh. You know, nobody's ever told me your real name, so I just call you whatever everybody else calls you.
That's great. Everyone knows me as that name anyway.
So today we have a lot of stuff to get through. Talking about Injustice, Dishonored, Borderlands. Before we get to all of that, though, we're gonna talk about Mists of Pandaria. This is the new World of Warcraft expansion that came out a couple of weeks ago, almost a month ago at this point, I'd say.
I don't think so. I don't think it's almost a month.
It's the 25th of September.
So yeah, 2 weeks.
Yeah.
So yeah, he's here to do our guest is here to do a review on it, because the rest of us really aren't that big WoW players. David used to be back in the day.
I was, but then unfortunately there is no time for both WoW and college.
So yeah, tell us about the expansion and how it's changed the world of Azeroth, please.
Well, basically, there's the new leveling gap is now 85 to 90. The world in the game has been expanded into another continent, which is Pandaria, and that's about roughly the size of Outland from the Burning Crusade. Now, this zone is basically just heavily Asian influence, and it's actually pretty good. You start off in a zone called Jade Forest, which is basically just introducing you to the expansion and the Pandaren themselves and why you're there, which is, well, for the Horde faction, it's just because the leader wants to kill everyone there and take it for himself, and the Alliance leader is looking for somebody that's lost to him. And basically the story goes from there into another zone, which is the Valley of Four Winds, and then basically there you're just helping out the Pandaren because you like how they work and their ideals and everything. But this expansion has brought tons of changes to the game itself. In the classes themselves, some of them work completely differently to what they used to before. For example, we'll take arcane mages. Before, they just used mana as a resource to fund their spells and stuff. In this game, you have mana, but you have also these things called arcane charges, which you build up to a maximum of 6 charges from using your main spell, which is Arcane Blast. And what the arcane charges do is they increase the damage of your spells, and you can hit more targets with them.
Sounds way more complicated than when I used to play.
Oh yeah, it's just different.
So they've rebalanced a lot of the classes and stuff.
Oh yeah, definitely.
And
Some of them.
do you think it's better this way? Like, I've heard that a lot of the stuff in World of Warcraft used to be very unbalanced. Is it more balanced now?
I would say so, yeah. I think mainly it became unbalanced when, in Wrath of the Lich King, when the Death Knights came in, because they introduced a whole new class that nobody knew how it would compare to other things, and it kind of ruined some things like PvP in some senses.
Especially Blood Death Knights.
Yeah.
Blood Death Knights did not need healing from anyone. They just
No.
healed themselves. They were just unstoppable.
I have a really important question about this expansion. Does Jack Black reprise his role as Poe?
As far as I'm aware, he doesn't.
That's a Kung Fu Panda joke right there.
I know, but the Kung Fu Panda reference, I can see why people are saying it.
Because in the very first trailer, they show these pandas and they're doing kung fu in an Asian style village.
But in Warcraft 3, back before Kung Fu Panda came out, there were the Pandaren Brewmasters, which are a style of monks. So really, they have been around since before that film came out.
Yeah, but Jack Black's awesome.
How did Blizzard draw the connection between pandas and drinking?
Because why not?
How did Blizzard draw the connection between anything and anything? I mean, have you looked at World of Warcraft? It makes no sense.
But
How is the new race?
the Pandaren are pretty good. Like I like their style. Their fighting style are very like fluid, and it's very very heavily influenced by the Asian type of architecture, their speech, their just general way of doing things. The graphical improvement too, that what they look like is very good compared to previous races that they've introduced in their games. Like they really increased the polygon count into the models. But yeah, I just love the pandas in general. But the monks, which is a new class,
Yeah, new class. Yeah.
are pretty fun to play as well. They're very button intensive, where you constantly have to do things, and if you miss a press and a skill or an ability, your like damage per second would go way off, your healing would go way off, you could miss the heal on that important part of a fight. The tanking from what I know seems to be pretty easy, where you just keep AoEing things, area of effect spells,
Yeah.
and you keep the aggro on you. But what they did for the tank spec is very interesting, where you don't take some of the damage initially, but you take it over time. It's sort of a stagger effect. But at higher levels, you can drink this brew that takes away that damage. So it's really an easier tanking style. But
Yeah, and they've changed their end quite a lot. They made it a lot more accessible to newcomers, and a lot of old WoWies have become very upset by this.
yeah, I mean, they tried to rectify that, where before, once you got to the max level, it was very easy to get the best gear.
Yeah,
But
yeah.
now, in this expansion, you have to get a certain reputation level with some factions to be able to access the gear as
I
well.
hated
as
doing
having-
that. It was so boring.
But you need the points to purchase the gear as well as the reputation level. So it's forcing you to experience all the content while working towards the gear that's
Yeah.
like high-end stuff, instead of just giving it to you freely.
Have they changed around the system for shoulder enchants? Weren't they planning on getting rid of that grind? Because there was a horrific grind to either
They have
revered or
taken-
exalted.
They have taken them out of the game.
Oh,
You make us up.
Hey guys, welcome back to the loading screen on UC 98.3 FM. That was Mindless Self-Indulgence with Straight to Video.
also known as the unofficial GM Power song from Vanilla WoW.
We had some issues earlier in the show. We actually couldn't get one of the mics working, but we got it sorted out. Well, I say a guy came in here and pushed some buttons and it was amazing. And magic happened.
Or
I just
button-
want to say there was no magic. He's lying to you, everyone. There was no magic.
So we're going to talk real quick about a game that's coming out tomorrow. I've been really excited for it, and I know you have been really excited for it as well, David.
Oh yeah.
It's called Dishonored. It's being published by Bethesda. Everybody knows Bethesda.
They make bad games.
Let's ignore what Johnny just said there, okay?
They don't make bad games. They just make poorly made games.
And it's being developed by these guys called Arcane Studios, who are relatively unheard of. And it's looking pretty good, guys. It's a first-person. I don't want to say shooter, cause you can play this game like however you want. You can go in there, you can stab everyone to death, you can shoot everyone up, or you can.
It's a first-person stealth game.
Well, you can play as a first-person shooter as well, though.
Well, you have a sword in your right hand, don't you?
Yeah, I know. That's actually one problem. You can't get rid of the sword. Even if you're playing through a non-lethal playthrough, nope, it's tough. You have to keep the sword, which is really bad.
Well, if you get caught, you're going to have to defend yourself some way.
I know, but if you're playing a stealth game and you get caught, then you're playing the stealth game wrong. If you get caught in Hitman, oh, that's it. Mission over. Go back to the start. Same with Deus Ex. Like, you're not supposed to do that. You're going.
It is just a choice of playstyle, so it's
Exactly.
Not, yeah.
Oh yeah, but like it's easy mode just going through the shoot. Well, in my opinion, anyway, because in Deus Ex, like you could just bomb through it by just like.
You say easy mode, I say fun mode.
Yeah,
Okay.
that's true. Like, okay, the best is like it's a first-person shooter which you can play without having to fire a single shot, or it's a stealth game where you can literally go in and slaughter everything, and I do mean everything. So the game revolved around Corvo, who is the main character, and he's the queen's bodyguard, and she gets murdered.
Excuse me, Empress.
Empress's bodyguard, and she gets murdered, and he gets blamed for it, and then he gets imprisoned, and he breaks out.
Does
Did you
he,
see that picture on Meme Base where it was Dishonored, and it's like gets accused of murdering someone, proves his innocence by murdering everyone.
Does
I
he?
thought it was funny.
After this, does he get into one little fight? Does his mother get scared? Then does he move to Bel Air?
No, he moves to a jail, as far as I'm aware.
That doesn't rhyme.
We can make it rhyme.
But anyways, he gets these mystical magical powers, but from this character called Overseer, and it's sort of like his revenge essentially, and he's trying to find the heir. It's a really cool game coming out tomorrow. I'm really looking forward to it. We're going to talk about it for a real quick while. David, you want to say some stuff about the artistic style the game's taking?
Yeah, I was originally looking at a gameplay from it, and it's like those walls look very familiar. And it was actually the same graphic designer for Half-Life 2 is actually behind Dishonored, Victor Antonov.
Sweet.
And so if you look at some of the walkers, like they look very reminiscent of the stalkers in Half-Life 2. So
That's what they look like. Because when I saw them, I was like, that looks.
I know it's very familiar, and even the it's kind of like a wash style. It's kind of a watercolor type of graphic style, and it looks really good. Like, it's not super realistic, but generally every game that Bethesda has released for the past while has just been that kind of shading of brown all over it.
Yeah,
Like,
I think the people look very like Bioshock. kinda
Infinite.
graphics.
It looks a lot like BioShock Infinite. Like if you put those two
Or
games-
Bioshock 1.
I don't know about BioShock 1. It reminds me of BioShock Infinite and BioShock 1.
I've played Bioshock 1. They look the same.
Well,
And just to throw it in too as well, just for PC gaming standpoint, the FOV slider actually only goes up to a maximum of 85. There is an online guide to actually increase it to 90. A lot of people prefer to play it at 90, or 90 is kind of the bare minimum. Otherwise, it just starts to hurt your eyes to play. The max is 85 right now. They may increase this. If they do, great. If they don't, there is an online guide available, so you can actually get around that.
all right. Well, anyways, I'm really looking forward to this game. And if you guys didn't understand any of that, don't worry, I didn't either. So,
No, that's why I was laughing silent there for a minute, because when David was talking about that, you just looked away, you were doing something, and then you came back and you're like, oh yeah, alright, I totally understood all that. As I was looking at you, I was just like, all I'm marking here right now is this. This is all just white noise to you.
But